Hello, this is Diego Mangabeira. You're welcome to BoringSales. Today we're going to talk about my LinkedIn content system that generates inbound. So I'm going to talk to you about my inbound strategy that works really well. I'm on LinkedIn since 2005, so nobody was using LinkedIn, and I have a lot of strategies that I'd like to share with you that are really working well. And as you know, and any type of social media, uh, the algorithm is having a lot of updates, so I'll also going to share with you today about it. Okay, when we talk about LinkedIn, most of the time we're going to talk about how you could um, bring leads by themselves. What does that mean? How I can generate an inbound strategy, and based on that inbound strategy, I could bring qualified leads that would be really interested in your product, on your service, or even your solution. Okay. And by the way, I'm the top 1% of the LinkedIn social selling index. That's a rate that you could basically you don't need to calculate, but LinkedIn calculates based on your activities, based on update profile, LinkedIn profile, the way you interact with your peers, with your network. And I've been with on that status for a while, and that's a reason that I could bring that education or even this information to you. So that's really important to say. And that's not luck. That's related to a system that is running consistently over time, and it was tested on this on this a lot of updates that LinkedIn is always bringing to us. Okay, and the system isn't glamorous, as I always say, is boring most of the time. But I'll say it's not related just to post a viral thread or watch the leads roll in, or even using that, oh, please DM word, right? Audit or even sales. That's not just it, but it's more than what it is. But it's a repeatable process that compounds quietly until it gets back on traction, or even it gets tracked by all the algorithm, and then you can accomplish what you want. Okay. The problem with how people most of the time they're using LinkedIn, they're using most of the time in two ways. This is for salespeople, C-level. I don't know which position or even what you're doing right now. You could be an entrepreneur, it could be a CEO, a founder, could be a salesperson, SDR, BDR, account executive. But most of the time, there are two ways that people treat LinkedIn or works with LinkedIn. Uh, the first one is treated like a resume, so curriculum vitae that you share with everybody. So that's it. Or it never posts anything on this case. So it just that. I remember one example that I was outreaching that was for a client that was interested in healthcare medical services. He was selling that type of services, and most of the professionals that I was outreaching, they had the LinkedIn profile, but that's it. They don't even have a picture. They don't even have an update. Just the last update was from this job experience 25 years ago, and that's it. Okay, so it was really hard to contact this lead. So we tried, for instance, cold calling. That was working really well. The other way of using LinkedIn was to post randomly, and that means inspirational quotes, reposts, whatever felt relevant that morning, and that's it. it you could see that on these profiles that post today, and then 2 months later, and 1 year later. So that's it. Both approaches produce the same result. In this case, nothing, because the algorithm will not be trained to bring your need to public or even qualify leads. A content system is different. When you have a system, when you have a process, it has a structure, intention, and also consistency. And all the algorithm loves consistency. Okay, and the structure means you know what you're posting before the week starts. So, for instance, the first tip that I could share with you is to have like a schedule, right? Which types of content that you're going to post on the week, Monday to Friday, which time is better, independently of your time zone. Could be the Eastern, could be Pacific time, but what's the best time for your niche as well, because you could work in different industry. That's all relevant on this case. And on this case, intention means every post serves a specific purpose on your sales funnel. There is no special post that you like that you will post. Every post has a meaning, has a purpose, has uh, a modus operandi per se. Okay, and consistency on this case means your audience knows you show up and starts to just expect you. Okay, there are three content pillars that I'm going to share with you that are really important and that could be like a mind-blowing idea for you to start today. Okay, the first one is related to the credibility content. In this case, we're going to posts that demonstrate expertise and earn trust. Okay, so you could share frameworks, lessons from a real client work, breakdowns of what works from your product and what doesn't. It's like before and after thing, okay? But you might try that. And this is the content that makes people think, oh, this person actually knows what they're talking about. So you can create credibility, authority, and that are just mental triggers. But the person will understand, oh, this person, this guy, this dude is talking something that's really important to me. So I'll go into connect, okay? And that happens like that, okay? And for myself, what are this type of posts? Posts about outbound methodology, cold email data, or even pipeline management, something like that, okay? For you, it could be whatever your zone of expertise is, okay? That's the pillar number one, so credibility. Pillar number two is related to relatability content. In this case, posts that make people feel seen and understood. So you could share stories that about failures. It could be counter intuitive lessons, okay, something like that. Things I got wrong and then fixed. So you are going to make your audience think, and that's unique because since nobody is doing that, everybody's using more like lists or even what worked with me. You are going to create like a guerrilla marketing thing, and then can convert into good and qualified leads for you. And this is the content that makes people think, oh, this person is real, not just a highlight reel. Okay. Relatability builds connection, and also connection builds trust, and trust generates inbound. And this is not a short-term strategy. Okay, it might take a while for you to convert that lead, but since he or she is going to follow your work most of the time, you're going to convert them naturally. Okay. The third pillar is related to perspective content. And here we're going to talk about posts that take a clear, sometimes contrarian instance on something in your industry. And here, imagine something like this. Here's what everyone believes about cold email. Here's why I disagree. Okay. So you're going to bring something that it is like mandatory or even simple, but at the same time, you're going to bring your point of view, and that's really something. Okay. And this is the content gets shared and debated because people are going to comment. Sometimes they're going not to agree with you. And because of that, you're going to receive a lot of comments. The algorithm will understand, oh, this post is relevant and it's going to deliver to more people. Okay. You don't need everyone to agree. Like I said, you need the right people to pay attention. Okay, it's like a sales funnel or even Pareto law. 20% of these leads are going to convert 80% of your revenue, or 80% of this 20%. They're not going to mean anything about for your business. Okay, so in terms of calendar, I can even share really quick how you could create like agenda. You could try Monday credibility posts. So start the week with expertise, set the tone. Okay. Tuesday, you might try the engagement post. So question, you could create a poll or even a hot take and design to spark conversation on this case. The main goal is that. Wednesday, you could try a story or even a case study. So a real situation, a real outcome, or even a real lesson for you. Okay. And the Thursday, you could share a perspective post. Take an instance on something in your market. You might try, or even you might create like even Claude or even some AI or GPT to create like the trends, what everybody's talking about, and then get that trending topics and then create your content. And Friday is optional, because you can create a lighter content or behind the scenes or a week reflections. Like, let's summarize the whole week that we had. Okay, real simple, really accurate. In this case, people don't read one of your posts. They're going to follow your work and immediately DM you asking to buy something. Okay, it takes longer than that. Sometimes, like I said, this is not a metaphor or even, oh, let's try this or that. This is a long-term strategy. Most of the time, it takes a while, but people who are going to get interested in your work, they're going to reply. They're going to see your post. They're going to follow you, read about another post, or start to trust about yourself. Imagine they 3 weeks later, even they have a problem that matches what you talk about, and then bang, okay, they're going to convert. So that could be applicable today. So start doing today. And as I always say, keep it boring. Okay. See you in another podcast. Bye. Take care.